discussion. So I think before diving into our topic, I think it's better to introduce myself. So I am Abdullah Unais, an undergraduate, third year undergraduate of University of Kelaniya, doing peace and conflict resolutions. So before introducing our panelists, I think it's better to give the title of our panel discussions. Yes, it is social media impact on political awareness. We might have an idea about the social media and the political awareness in up to some end, but is it real? Is it okay? We are not sure, right? So let's discuss with our experts to get a good idea. So we have two panelists, Dr. M.K. Nadika and Madam Sulochana. So before that, let me introduce them so you guys can get a brief idea about them. So Dr. M.K. Nadika, she has completed her BA Special Degree in Political Science in University of Peradeniya in 1998 and completed postgraduate diploma in economic development at University of Colombo and completed MPhil in political science at University of Peradeniya 2019 and completed PhD at Findlay University of Australia 2023. And she served as assistant lecturer and notable researcher, and she is currently serving as a senior lecturer at University of Kelaniya. So we have another panelist, Madam Sulochana Ramya Mohan. She is an award-winning journalist for her exceptional performance and also deputy editor at Ceylon Today News. And also she has honored with several prestigious awards titles: Best Journalist of the Year 2023, National and Presidential Award-winning journalist for her reporting and on environment, and full-time editor writer on geopolitical of South Asia and involved in media training with U.S. Embassy Colombo. These are a brief introduction about them. I think without further delay, let's dive into the questions, the topics. So I think it's better to go with Dr. Nadika. Dr. Nadika, so I think how has the social media changed?
Thank you, Handu. Yeah,
Okay. So, madam, I think it's better to go with the question. So, madam, how has the social media changed the way people access and consume the political information? So, madam, this is time for you.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this discussion. First of all, I have to say it is revolution. Why I'm saying that, if we think about 1980 or 1990, getting information is very difficult. We have to read the newspapers, even for the if we trying to get some job vacancies, we have to read Gazette. It is very difficult. But in today, when we think about the information, access to information is very easy through the social media. There are a lot of social media in the country. Infrastructure in 1990s, there was significant changes in the telecommunication, privatization and deregulation. Through that, we get more opportunities to get information and access to social media, because all the social media used through telecommunication and other things, technology. So it is revolution. I think today we can get access for any information within few seconds. So for example, sometimes it may be the misinformation, but many people have access. If you asking about access is it's we have many opportunities to access to the information through several type of social media. I think that's the answer I have to say.
Thank you so much, Doctor. That's a good starting, I think. Uh, right. So I think it's better to ask our Madam Sulochana as well. Madam, how has the social media changed the way people access consuming the political information according to your perspective as you are in the journalism and in those field? So, Madam,
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Well,
yeah, you're perfect.
all right. So,
Audible.
my knowledge about this social media, of course, it came to in full swing from the 2000, to the year 2000, and it grabbed the attention of the traditional media, that is the TV, even the newspapers, journals, all academic writings, just overpowered. The social media is because it's people controlling. It's the people's way of looking at the world, which is a very large view people can grab from social media. It's instant. It is very instant. It's quick. It's eye grabbing. It's thought provoking. Everything you name it, it's the social media. For instance, you would know that the Arab Spring was an event like in Egypt and Libya, Tunisia, Syria, all of them got together and resisted the control of traditional media by creating a sharing of their own content on social media. This Arab Spring was one good example for social media, how powerful that is. So it turned the entire landscape of the Arab world. And it was very thought-provoking, and we were wondering how it could happen. People could gather over WhatsApp messages, and social media gathering can be such an important tool. But still, this has been in Sri Lankan context, I think, though it's more monitored and people always, as soon as you get up, start your day, you go into Facebook, you go into Twitter, you go into LinkedIn, you go into Snapchat and whatnot. And you first and foremost, you try to have a cup of tea with this social media, because early in the morning you want information. But this information is coming handy, but whether it's coming it handy is correct or not is the secondary point. So if you take a newspaper, yes, it has a lot of time to work through a story from morning till evening till we have a couple of hours to sit and analyze, get information, first-hand data, talk to the relevant official, talk to the minister, and fine-tune a news. But that doesn't happen in social media. It just goes what you think, it triggers, and it goes into the domain or public domain. So the controlling of social media is still questionable, because the whole world is worried about social media for their political political ideologies, political motivation, their political stance, how to be in power. Everything has come to social media, because you have to cool down the social media. It is following you. It is actually interfering into one person's life, that we can say for sure. So social media is, of course, yes, first-hand information, but the political tools, or like the political individuals or political parties can change the entire thinking capacity of the people as well. Like the people can change the entire thinking of the politicians also can change thinking of the public. So there is both ways where you can get information, like one could be against the politician and the politician can blame the public. So this kind of a conversation is very healthy, but still there's a huge gap whether the political analysis could be based on a social media comments photos is still a question. Whether we can, because now we have come to a point that social media has to be double checked, fact checked like any other traditional newspapers. So the political landscape is all now full of mixture of fake reality uh, that are half-baked truth, no truth at all, and a lot of concepts are getting into social media. So as serious people with a lot of intelligence and want to analyze their own sustain themselves in this country, we need to follow them closely. But end of the day, all this information has to be fact checked, because fact checking is one credible thing that we have to do for ourselves before we can get misled by any information. So social media, yes, we need it, but on the other hand, yes, we need the social media to be fact checked before we share, retweet, talking about it, taking to the public discourse. We need to be watchful, is my belief.
Yeah, Maran, that's exactly the wonderful insight. I think the social media is, became a turning point to consume the information, whether it may be true or false. Okay, so let's dive into the second questions. I think it's better go with Dr. Nadika. So, Doctor, what role does social media play in shaping political opinions and belief? I'm repeating, what roles does social media play in shaping political opinions and beliefs, Doctor?
Yeah, thank you, Abdul. Before going to my answer, I want to say I am 100% agree with the Sulochana regarding the things, because I would like to start with her answer, because she said it is our responsibility. Who was sharing this, before that we need to fact check and think about whether this is information is true or false. And also, when we get in information, we have to think whether it is good source or reliable source or where it's come from, because it is very easy to misleading the people. When we compare the newspaper or media is the platform, significant tool can shape the public opinion. As Sulochana said, if we use printed media or newspaper or electronic media like TV or radio, they have some sort of responsibility for what they telecast or what they broadcast. But when we think about if we talk about the social media, it doesn't have. So it has significant way to shape the public opinion in both way, good way and bad way. If we think about current election campaign, we can see what sometimes people doesn't know how they impact other people's thought and opinion and how they shape it, sharing the information. Sometimes some information while it's violate the election law, but people doesn't know, because they think that it is very easy to share. Just click the button, share it. But it is very harmful. So another way, as Sulochana said, it also has good thing, because people who wanted to give some sort of positive idea or correct information, it is the good platform. But consumers has to think about the idea, whether idea is correct or not, and we have to check other sources also. So that is the answer I have to say.
Yeah, exactly, madam. because nowadays we are getting this so many content. So even as a consumer, we can't even differentiate whether it's true or false. Like, so it's really important things, right? So,
Before
Madam
going that,
Sulochana,
I would like to add one thing.
uh-huh.
Due to that huge impact on current ongoing election, I think election commission every day getting more than 1,000 complaint about the social media. I am one of advisor in one election monitoring institute. We are receiving around more than 1,000 social media complaint per one day.
Exactly, that might be increasing for
Yeah.
the contemporary issues. Yes, madam, that's really important things we have to consider about. So, Madam Sulochana, what do you think about the roles does social media play in shaping political opinions and beliefs? You may already mention, but briefly let's discuss.
The political landscape are being shaped over and over again. Suddenly you find a politician is good this week, a politician is bad next week. A politician is, his wordings are utterly foolish. Next week you see him saying something very sensible. So these analysis actually can be true because we are watching it, we are seeing it on TV, we can immediately analyze. Not only we can analyze, even before we talk, there's a trending going on in social media about whatever the comments he says. So it's a immediate reaction that people can exposes one social media activist social media can do. But you better know that now it's about, they say in 2021, this datareporter.com is one of the leading portals that found out that 2.2 billion people, almost all the world people are using social media and it's a number one platform. So you can see why people are, one is that it's also because it's less time consuming. That is the first factor. You just want to have your phone and just, you can't read lengthy stories like in the paper, the traditional newspaper. So you don't want to listen to TV interviews. You don't want to listen people talking and going on and on, telling the same thing over and over again. But if you have the whole thing in a just a small paragraph, 3 paragraph, it's so powerful. You take a long interview and pick only a very informative information that man has said, maybe at the end of the interview. You can take that and tweet and it becomes popular within no time. So social media can do that. Nobody else can do that. Also, when you see about social media, it's a place for influencing people. You can influence people from what you are not to what you are, or from what you are to what you are not. You can change this whole concept or perception of a politician using social media. You don't know exactly what this character is, but you can see both sides probably, and you can basically understand his character over that. But definitely you cannot uh, definitely distinctly tell that this person is this kind of a person. So social media will only give an analysis on pros and cons of a politician or a political party. But end of the day, once again, I would say you have to follow some analysis done on print media, which takes a lot of time and effort to study about a certain manifesto or statement or a political policies that will not change, because once you say to a print media, it's mostly very, very fact-based information. But this way, you cannot change the political opinion or landscape. But it can also do it without any second thought. It can trigger something. In last minute, if somebody tweets that so and so is withdrawing from the race, which can be a tool to just mislead the people, that can impact on his vote. Maybe he would have wanted 50,000 votes. By that particular ill-famed statement he makes, it will trigger some sort of an impact on this particular individual, and it can change the entire voter base against him. So you can see how powerful a person's statement. Last week we received a letter from AKD, Anura Kumara Disanayaka's office. And it was signature signed just like Anura, but we came to know it was a fake letter. Changing the landscape of his party, changing the political thinking of his party, and it can damage a person's future political aspirations. So this way, it can take a lot of turns. Again, we have to be watchful. End of the day, we have to say that you don't believe 100% on social media. Also learn to sit and gather information on your own to guide others and say, this is a fake news. This is not true. This letter is fake. And you must be able to justify these things immediately on the social media, because that is also needed very much, and without letting the public mislead. So these are the changing potential changes social media can bring into a political landscape.
Yeah, exactly, madam. No, nowadays we are facing that, right? So today is a good, the one political figure may be a good person, but because of the influence of social media, next day he will be a, the bad person ever. So still we can't predict because of the social media, which has a real impact. Okay, so let's move to the third questions. So, Madam Dr. Natika, so, how does social media influence political participation and engagement among different age groups? This is a real question, I think. So, what do you think, Dr. Nazika?
Yeah, it is also linked with the second question you asked.
Yeah, exactly.
Political
Eleven.
opinion, how it opinion shape and the participation. So it's both way. You can see what happened in the 2020 Aragala in Sri Lanka. It's participation encouraged by the social media, and
Exactly. We can't avoid that.
yeah, it's come through the social media. And day by day they are distributing the ideas through the mainly through the Facebook. So it can make a positive thing for the to encourage the participation in many ways. It may be the like revolution, it may be the election campaign, and it may be the also platform. As a political scientist, we believe that political participation is also discussion, also we consider as a participation. It can make good platform, better platform to discuss political questions, issues, and the context of the country. But same time, it can maybe make barriers to the participate. For example, in current ongoing election, if we consider as an example, lot of people saying, considerable amount people saying, we don't know, we don't want to use the vote. We don't cast the vote.
Yeah,
Because,
just rejecting the election.
Yeah, that disappointed. So if someone spread the message, it can be very creative manner, but the message may be negative. Then the people thought this is the this is the reality. So they may think it is nothing happened. Why we are voting like that? So it can contribute as a barrier. In other way, as I said earlier, sometimes if a public figure said, no, you have to vote because it is your right, and it decide your future of the country, then people start to think about and make us, it may be lead to get positive participation, or increase in political participation in many ways, like they can discuss, they can share idea, they can participate for the rally, they can participate for the voting, everything. But
Yeah.
it's depend upon the public opinion. What is the public opinion we can shape? It's political participation mainly depend upon that. So political parties also can use it in both way. They themselves use it for the victory of them and defeated the opposition party.
Yeah, that
So,
might affect in
yeah,
the upside
that's
way
the
as
thing.
well.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
As
Uh,
Sulochana mentioned that it's fake news. If we distribute a small slot of fake news, it can be make huge damage to
Huge
the
impact.
candidate. Yeah.
Even without knowing that, as a consumer,
Yeah, we don't know. Because,
yeah, we are thinking that we are spreading a good thing, but still it became
Yeah.
a bad one. Okay, that's a wonderful insight. So I think let's ask these questions to Madam Solushana, that her perspective might be different because as a journalist. So, Madam Solushana, what do you think? How does social media influence in political participation and engagement among different age groups? How do you think?
Okay.
I think your perspective will be another
Yeah.
side as a journalist.
Interestingly, last week, we came across a person called Amita Amarasinghe, I think, from Facebook. He is pretty internet savvy. He is very good in doing some analysis. And he has posted something on LinkedIn asking the professions. He has collected about 348 samples from professionals from the LinkedIn and mentioned the word candidate name and asked, what do you think of him? Okay, this is a very, very interesting, though people won't endorse it, but he has done our own research and he has categorized people, the Gen Zs, generation, the new generation between 18 to 24. Then millennials are called between the age of 25 to 44. Gen X, that is quite old, between 45 to 54. Then there are boomers who are above 55, asking about the top politicians of this country. He has taken all the samples from 348 LinkedIn professionals in Sri Lanka. So the Gen Z are saying the president who is now is old, too old. And the millennials, that the age group is between 25 to 44, always say he's cunning. And there is a general Gen Z group, or ex-general Gen Z group, that is 45 to 54 years, are calling him cunning. And the boomers are saying, above 55 people are saying Ranil is smart. So this is a very interesting thing. I mean, this has an impact. He has to put it on Facebook, and people are tweeting it, sharing it, and quite an impact he has created. And similarly with Sajid and Anura and Namal. So these people, 638 shares. I think today there must be over 1,000 shares. So this is also shaping the. It tells a lot about the groups, individuals in this country, how we already have a picture of this person. And the people definitely will tell the truth because they are not coming front of the social media, right? They are just coming on just typing. So they can do the typing and tell this is what it is. So without any fear. So they have done that very well. And it was a very eye-opening and very much true. If I can send you the chart, how they have analyzed the young people, middle-aged people, millennials. They have characterized these people, and that has an impact on their moods because somebody has said so-and-so is a fool. Now, if that analysis comes in, I think his votes are going to be lesser. Somebody has said somebody else is corrupt, highly corrupt. And all the generations, 3 generations have said the same, or generation in age group. So these are the things that is in mind of the people. So this particular election is going to be very confusing. People are changing the thinking of the people, and one way it is good because we believe the young people think not dramatically, they think intelligently, they perform their duties. So when you say most of the things are said by the younger generation, we can accept for certain truth that what they are thinking is correct. So on that basis, the political parties and political individuals are doing their manifestos. You must see some of the manifestos have a lot of rooms for improvement for the younger generation because they
Exactly.
have studied that the social media is targeting the young people. If you can keep the young people with you, you are doing a greater job. You discard the older ones or very old in the sense 60, 70 years. But this understanding is now creeping into South Asia, where young people are taken on. Even in Bangladesh, you see that what kind of crisis. This is all motivated by the simple thinking that the young generation must take over political stance because older people have been ruling the countries in South Asia or even in the world. If you see, all of them are pretty old leaders. So this younger generation coming to the scene comes along with the social media wraps up. So
Yeah.
this is where I would say we are now come to a point we must listen to the needs and wants of the younger people because they are going to take over the future generation. But we have to be cautious.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, the more politicians, almost everyone are focusing, targeting the youth, right? With the different names, most people are focusing the younger generation. That's exactly. So, let's move to the next questions. Let's go with Dr. Natika. Doctor, yeah, Doctor, in what ways can social media contribute to polarization of, political polarization? In what ways the social media contribute to the political polarization? That's also a really important question for timely.
Yeah, Abdul, if we take current situation, also
Yeah,
we can explain it. As I said earlier,
yeah,
misinformation or sometime negative thoughts can polarize people. And even few years ago, from few years ago, we have heard, that time I was not at the country, but we heard we don't need 225 people plus one.
exactly. As a main theme.
Yeah, it is. Then people start to think what they did, what they are doing. And even sometime I have seen in Facebook, they shared one puppy and asked him to go to the Devanna to represent the people. So that type of thing uh, can lead polarization the people. They think that democracy is not for us. It is not working in this country. So people as people's participation as well as democracy may be in a threat if we distribute some sort of news or story or something like that, fake things, without mention or clarifying what is happening there.
Yeah,
There may be a thing, there may be a corruption, everything, but we have to depend or we have to believe democracy. Without democracy, we can't live in this country. So, any country. So, that type of thing contribute to polarization.
yeah,
Even for the Bangladesh situation, one of my professor in Bangladesh, he said, this is similar situation what happened in Sri Lanka during 2020.
yeah, the Arugula time, right?
Yeah, because I one of my masters I followed in Bangladesh. I was at 2 years in Bangladesh. I know the situation and people's behavior. So then I contact one of my professor. He clearly said this is making through that. So there are many problems. We have governance issues, lot of governance issues, service delivery issues, political crime, everything in this country. But these representatives selected by us, so we have to deal with them in the democratic way and get them out if we don't believe that in a democratic way. So otherwise, people are going polarized. Because one example I can give, a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, we went to Matara Gandhara area because we got invitation from one civil society organization. They said these people, one village, Gandhara, they said they don't allow to politician to come in their village, any party.
Okay. Oh, any
Because
parties.
because
Uh-huh.
they don't believe. They didn't get anything. Even the local government didn't collect their waste. So they said no, not to come to that village. So, and they said we will not use our vote for any of them in this election. So we have to
Yeah.
go there and discuss with them around maybe 3 hours. We have to discuss with the people, and then we ask them, we arrange one thing, open forum discussion with the grassroots level political leaders of the all parties. Come to one place and discuss and said, what are you going to do after winning your party? So they are responsible, but it is very hard. It is
Yeah.
very hard because convenience is very hard, especially many of them are ladies. They are very aggressive. So this is the current situation in the country.
Yeah, exactly. Because of their misunderstanding, this
Yeah.
polarization, they are trying to neglect the election. They don't even know if we do the thing, if we neglect the election, that is still keep the
Same thing
same
happen.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have to understand. So let's move to the Ms. Sudarshana. Madam, as a journalist, how you see the social media is how it, the polarize the political situation. How you see that?
Take for instance, we journalists are one group. we have
Okay.
our own concept about certain things, certain policies, certain person. So we have things differently. So we have this
Exactly.
group. Now you can see like-minded people joining together to bash one person on social, right? Like-minded people are there who will gather on social media to hit at one particular politician. So that's a style. Everybody, like say for instance, if the Rajapaksa say about that they will deal with corruption and make sure that there is no corruption under their new government, people all gather around who knows that there was corruption during his time. So they go bashing him. So that is one like-minded people join. Then some group is there who will always look for the background of a particular political party like JVP, always bring back that old events, murders, insurgency, and that kind of a political polarization is also there. Then you trigger anger on those people who have gone against the youth during the Aragalaya time. Those politicians who have said bad about the Aragalaya or the sentiments of the people, that is one way of getting rid of these people. And then there is people from different communities like Tamil, Muslims, Sinhalese, who don't like certain person, political party because it has harmed them. So you have this tribalism, like, you join hands with your community. Then you have your personal anger. Now, if I have a personal anger, I will immediately react on and polarize this. Polarization is a very common practice on social media that Sri Lankans all over the world, there is a polarization in the US system where people bash Biden. There's a group bashing Trump. Some people laughing at Kamala Harris. So this polarization also is kind of a thing that is out of context also. Sometimes it is simply to trigger a comical situation. But end of the day, it also harms a political process in a country. We may not know the impact of what we say, what we retweet, but definitely somewhere down there, somebody is getting hurt, somebody is getting less attention, somebody is getting ruined in his political career. And we have done that. We have shown that we have dismissed people on social media, and it has really become a serious headache for some for political parties and personalities, where the social media keeps on damaging. Even if you retweet, if you don't even type anything, you just click and retweet, and you keep retweeting. Sometimes even the fake news, you can keep retweeting and make it believe it's true. There are people who do that. They keep on retweeting the same thing over and over and again for 5 years. And let not that party come to mainstream politics. We can easily do, and we have done it, and we have sent people home also. So you can see how powerful social media tool is. So polarization is one key aspect in political landscape in Sri Lanka and even South Asia, even around many countries in global perspective.
Yeah, exactly, madam. That has a really impact in the political polarization. Actually, we have to discuss more on this. I have planned to discuss with more questions. Actually, we are exceeding the time because concerning the time, I think it's better to move to the Q&A session for our audience. So please, participants, please unmute yourself. And if there are any questions, for our respective panelists, please raise the questions. It's time for you. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Hello, my question is to Dr. Nadika Damayanti ma'am. My question is, how can we as youth be aware of propaganda, specifically propaganda and social media and elections? So we have a bad experience in 2019 being caught to propaganda done by a certain political party, and how can we be aware of such things that circulate in social media and not fall into such traps? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Question is broad. One thing youth can do specifically if you asking for this election or coming election, you have to read as a youth what is the law said. If you want to get information or regarding election law or election violation procedure, everything. So these are 3 or 4 acts regarding is particularly relevant to these elections. Particularly, I wanted to mention regarding the election violation. If you just click and share the information, many of them has violation things. So included some context related to violation. So as I remembered, for your easy reference, for the election, presidential election, it is section 5 from article 66 to 92, I think. it's clearly mentioned what are the election violation and the everything under 3 categories. Wrongdoing, wrong things, and the undue influence, and the bribery and corruptions, like that. So some some information are hate speech. You just, when you read, carefully read, if you get the content or something in the social media, read carefully, not only 1, 2, 3 times before sharing it, because some include hidden ideas. Today I got one poster sent by someone. It shows what the recycling the gas cylinder. It put in the gas cylinder and recycling it. This just I see. I thought, yes, that is happening in Australia. This is a machine used in Australia. So okay, then when I seen that video, it is video. Then seeing the video, it shows 2, 3 times put in it and press. So finally, it's small pieces come in the way. So idea is different.
Yeah, we are the one have to be responsible, right, madam?
Yeah. Then I talk with the former election commissioner, Mr. Mahinda Deshapriya, and he said, yes, that is the thing. So it's harmful to one candidate. So we have to think about, before sharing the things, we have to think, get the
Yeah.
content what is included in there.
I think he got the idea, like before sharing anything that we are get as a youth, we have to be responsible. That's what the question. I think he got the answer, right? So I got another questions to Miss Sulochana, which means, Madam, what are the potential benefits of social media for increasing political awareness and activism? I think it's a really suitable question for Ms. Sulochana, I think. I'm repeating the question. Yeah, I'm repeating the question. What are the potential benefits of social media for increasing political awareness and activism?
Okay. Actually, the first-hand information you get from social media, right? There's no doubt. For instance, say for this coming elections, if somebody is violating the elections law, somebody can spot it. If somebody is going around giving pamphlets with the vehicle having a government, that Lanchana symbol, the government state symbol in the vehicle, and if he's going around giving pamphlets or leaflets, you can see him directly misusing the state assets. You can take a photo, you can put it immediately on the social media, immediate impact, immediate reaction, and immediately it is being reported to the Elections Commission. There cannot be a second thought about those things. Even if you find positively it impacts government engagement among younger group, because this age is not only significantly impacted political discussion on social media, because young people are on social media. They want first-hand information. There are people who can mislead, but then the fact remains also, social media will give effective discussions, will have effective distribute of information immediately right and then. Now people, when they see some information coming on social media, 10 people will comment and tell you this is fake. 10 people will comment and say, oh, this is true, this has happened, I have heard so. So you can see this endorsing of information also. So it has an impact. It has a positive impact without a doubt. But only thing, now you see how social media is inspiring a collection of actions, doing a lot of positive parades on the street and taking views and putting on social media, fighting for rights, fighting for justice, attending seminar, organizing protests. initiating petitions, all this comes on social media. You can immediately see the impact. It positively impacts, definitely. If that needs some concern, there are concerns that this has to be corrected. So study provides evidence to discuss political issues on social media can lead to increased political engagement across all groups. So it is very healthy where you come to the public domain on social media and you have a social discussion quite live. I mean, you can even video it. So there are impacts on social media, and you can gather all the political viewpoints, diversities, you can collect them. You can do through algorithms. Huh? You can collect information, past, present, and future. What they said, what have they done, what are they doing now? And you can sort of compile them and you can study it firsthand how this will be effective for people who are interested in politics. And you can do wonders actually using the social media.
Yeah,
Am I?
exactly. That might be that's the main turning point, right? In these days, nowadays, as a youth or as a nation, we can get a pure information, right? If there is something happening, we can get. Even this is really helpful for as a fair news and fair information, I think.
Even news,
Okay.
whether news from social media, as a print media journalist, we take information from the social media and then we find a lot of other information. Say there is a huge parade going on in Kathankudi, and we don't know what it is, but we see a video. But it gives a first-hand input. This is happening. So what we can do is we can contact our journalist in Kathankudi or in the Eastern Province and ask what is happening in Kathankudi, what is that protest, and they will give first-hand information. So it's a tool that will give you a lot of avenues to do a lot of news firsthand.
Yeah.
So actually that way, social media is very, very helpful for other print media, TV, journalists, website doers. All need social media. Very impactful, very impactful. Even some ministers don't talk to us directly. They talk through the social media. They tweet on Twitter. And then we take their comments from tweets because that is naturally by them. We know it's their handle. So sometimes they don't talk to me. They tell things on tweets. So we take tweet message and make news. So there are valid points, definitely.
Yeah, I think that exactly. Compared to the traditional media, the social media is giving the information without censoring. Yeah, that has even the positive and the negative as well, but it's still a good one as a major rule. So as time is exceeding, we only have a chance to one questions. So participant, please, if you have a questions, please feel free to ask because we only have uh, a chance to one questions.
Yes. Hi, I'm Sadir. And how can we use social media to build ethnic coexistence in Sri Lanka?
Whom are you asking this?
I'm Sadir, man.
No, to whom you wish to ask? To whom?
Dr. Nadika, Dr. Nadikans.
Okay, ma'am.
I think it is good platform to build up peace and harmony in the country through social media if we want. If one doesn't like, it is also same. So sharing ideas. Actually, today I had lecture with my student about decentralization and devolution. So what I said, we both have all around the country, we have some sort of problem, but miscommunication due to language barrier, we don't know each other grievances. So social media is the good platform, very useful platform if we use it in good manner and honestly. Even we can use words, sometimes short videos, pictures, because pictures said lot of words without any word. Pictures said many stories. So using these things, we can facilitate for building harmony in the country. I think Ms. Sulochana may have some idea regarding this rather
Yeah,
than
exactly.
me,
That's
because
what I
she is a journalist.
So, madam, please share your
Yeah,
thoughts.
and it's the best platform. During the Aragalaya time, uh, we as journalists gather a lot of information from the social media, anti points of views, positive points of views, and we did write a lot about how this is going to impact the society. We took a lot of information that are very negative to the society. We didn't want to highlight these things too much, but we pointed out how things can reshape a troubled society. You can do that because I have traveled to Jaffna. I have seen things similar to what is happening in the southern province. There are very powerful poverty line, below poverty line people in Jaffna. There are below poverty line people in down south. So there is no difference between those poverty line because they are all hungry like us. So you can't separate these stories. They are all to be said openly and not to concentrate that only the people in the northern province are suffering. There are sufferings all around the country. So these things you cannot change. You cannot change the course of understanding these problems which are basic. Similarly, about unemployment, you can't just talk about unemployment only in southern province. You have to talk about the northern province, you have to talk about the eastern province, you have to talk about the western province. Well, it's everywhere. So let's not concentrate on one particular community. Most of the time we cover all the communities. There are a little more sufferings in the north and east because they went through a war, but doesn't matter. It's the same war impacted the entire country, would say. So we have to be more conscious, more responsible people as journalists and as a citizen of this country, where you draw a parallel line and see whether it's the same for everyone, is the same thing for another community. If my community is benefiting, is the other community benefiting? You can take this information, put together, and even tweet it. You can say that this is happening in the east, this is happening in the north, this is happening in the south, and take all those photographs. People are asking for these demands. All of them are asking for land rights, and you can make a tweet. I mean, that way you can say that no people or a community feels undermined. Only my community doesn't have land. Only my community doesn't have a lot of unemployment. So you draw this parallel and show that these things are happening everywhere. These things are not only for me, it is happening to my neighbor. And this way you connect people. You can connect the downtrodden people faster because they are the ones who are polarized. They are the ones kept in boxes and then do politics with them. So let's not have this attitude of seeing based on communities, based on their language, their religion. Let's not make it a point, because when we talk about Easter Sunday, it's not about the Christians. It's about the Sinhalese and the Tamils. Then only religion. So Sinhalese and Tamils make this country. So we have to talk about the impact it had on the Tamils, it had the impact on the Sinhalese, and it had also impacted the Muslim community over Easter Sunday attack. So you can't write only what happened in Colombo, only what happened in Batiklo, only what happened in a church in Nigambo. So these are all collective measures. You have to take collective stand to expose problems, expose crisis, expose poverty, and put them all in one lens, see, under one lens. So people will understand that there is no levels. You don't have levels in poverty. Poverty means poverty for everyone. If everybody is sick, then they all are sick. There is unemployment, means most of them are unemployed. So you trigger these kind of community-based stories, as well as country. As a country, what we are going through has to be told in a very balanced manner so that people don't get upset. I don't have, he has. This is what is triggering a lot of problems in this country. My community doesn't have, his community has. My community doesn't have houses, they are given houses. So this also comes with the responsible government to take in charge of the country's situation and work simultaneous for all the people, not to have concentrated only on one particular area, one particular community, one particular language speaking people. No, not like that. If they do that, that also can trigger a lot of problems. So it's everybody's responsibility. Mine, yours, politicians, the government, we all have to work in harmony and not to trigger more tension among our own people. And you can do that in writing, social media, paper, newspaper, writings, websites. You can contribute, a lot of things can be done.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really insightful thoughts from both panelists. So let's came to the end of our sessions. As we have, when we talk about the social media impact and the political awareness, we have more to talk. Not these are really limited within our time. So we got the really insightful sessions about the social media, how it impact, what are the benefits, as well as the same as a coin which has a two sides, right? Just like there is a lot of benefits, but we can't avoid the disadvantages as well. So I'm really thankful for both panelists. Really, within your busy schedule, you just reserve a time for us to share your insightful thoughts. So Dr. Nadika and Madam Sulochana, and we are really thanks for your insightful and valuable time. And also we have to thank for IYP International Alliance for Peace, and also last but not least, our participants. Till now, you are spending your valuable time to get the knowledge and good insightful. So I'm really thanks for both panelists and the participants. So thank you so much for your valuable time, madam.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be part of this team. And I have always made it a point that if I can share my knowledge, my thoughts, at least to two people, and if they are going to benefit, I have achieved something, and that's always my goal. When you write, you have to achieve. When you talk to people, you must achieve something. So I hope the listeners who were in this forum have benefited and will think twice before what they do, how will they use the social media.
Yeah,
Truly
definitely.
do that. Okay.
Thank you very much, Divin, for this opportunity.
And nice knowing you also.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye,
And
bye.
participants.